What's going on, y'all? It's your main man, Big Wayne, D-I-E-S-E, to the airport live for another episode of Calling It How I See It. So, I was sitting there, looking at everything, looking at the highlights, looking at games, and I like to take things and I like to take things in doses, not just one game here, there. And I've been looking at who everybody talking about now. Everybody talking about James Harden, James Harden, James Harden. And James Harden is balling. All right, he turned it up. He's setting the leg on fire. Like I like to call him, he the ultimate 2K player. That's somebody you want on the playground. But anyway, but I got to think about James Harden, and the more I got to thinking, the more it took me back to my childhood, y'all. And guess what? I got kind of depressed. And some of y'all may know this, some of y'all may not. But growing up, I used to be an Orlando Magic fan. I used to like the Magic. Why? Because I like Tracy McGrady. Now, some of y'all know Tracy, some of y'all don't. But Tracy was like my guy. Tracy was my guy. He did all these crazy things, points, he dunked, all these things, shot, handle, a lot of things James Harden does. But he never got over the hill. So when he was on his own team, he never could get it done. He was short-lived in the playoffs. I love Tracy, second favorite player of all time, but he never got it done in the playoffs. And that got me thinking about James Harden. And then you try to get him some help in Grant Hill, what happened? He was hurt. Just like they tried to get him some help with Chris Paul. He's hurt. Okay, well, guess what? Moving to Houston. Okay, gave me Yao Ming. Guess what? He's hurt. You know what I mean? And then they gave James Harden Dwight Howard. Guess what? He was hurt. He had, the back issue thing going on. He was hurt. So he put up all these numbers, and then by the playoffs come, he just out, excuse me. He just out. So when I got to thinking about that, I'm just like, I'm starting to get worried about James Harden because I know how it ended. I know how it ended with Tracy, and he started injuries and all this, and he turned into what could have been. And James Harden is great. He doing all this good stuff, and he goes to the foul line a lot. He go to the foul line a lot. A lot of them times he getting up off the floor. Sometimes he is. Sometimes I don't think he getting fouled, but he be in the flow a lot. James Harden be in the flow a lot. Then they got me thinking about somebody else. Dwayne Wade. Now, do y'all remember the Flash? Y'all remember Flash? D Wade Flash, that 2009, 2011, all the way about 2013, give or take. You know what I mean? He was at the rim. The rim had a restraining order against D Wade. D Wade was attacking. I mean, he was on the rim all the time. He was on the rim, on the floor. That's where he was. At the hole, on the floor. That's where he was. And guess what? Caught up with him. Running into them trees down there, and they just wasn't having it. And now I think it cut him about a year short, because he was injuries. Because you can't last like that. You ain't supposed to just falling in the flow from 5 feet up every play. You ain't supposed to do that. You ain't supposed to be. The human body ain't built like that. Same thing with happened to Tracy. Same thing happened to D Wade. Same thing that's gonna happen to James if he ain't careful. And so I just get worried when I see James, and I think he just gonna be somebody fun to watch. Hall of Famer, great, but I don't see it with Houston. I don't see it. If they was gonna win it, they'd have won it all last year. But guess what? His health got hurt. So I'm just seeing it's a cautionary tale. This is a cautionary tale with James Harden. I'm not like James Harden. I'm not trying to hate or nothing, but I feel like I've seen this movie before. It's getting eerily familiar. And it just kind of makes me wonder a little bit. So I'm looking at him with a raised eyebrow because I see T-Mac. Because I grew up watching T-Mac. But now we seen what happened with D Wade. Some of y'all probably seen what happened with Tracy. And I think we're gonna see the same thing with James Harden. So it's just a cautionary tale, man. Let's not overcook our grits on this James Harden thing. But that's all I had to say about that. I ain't trying to make no noise. And I may be right about James. I may be wrong. I don't know. I'm just calling it how I see it. Because history has a funny way of repeating itself. Anyway, y'all, love, peace, Afro Grease. I'm about this thing. Yeah.